Hello students, welcome to La Excellence IAS Kalam program, Season 2, Episode 21. This is a GS Mains Answer Writing Initiative and this season will be continuing for about 50 episodes. Let us look at today's question. The question says, do you think an unprecedented scale investment is required to life up the Indian economy in the wake of COVID-19 pandemic? Explain. This question is from General Studies Paper 3 from the Economy section from the topic of Growth and Development. Okay, the question is for 10 marks and we will have to write the answer in 150 words. If we look at the context in which this question has been asked, you all know that India has already been going through a growth slowdown even before COVID-19 pandemic. The growth rate of GDP, which was around 7%, had come down to around 4.8% in December. While we were struggling, COVID-19 started showing its impact in India. As a result, we had called for lockdown and then majority of the economic activity, especially the industries and service sectors, came to a standstill in the country. Okay? You all are also aware of the relief package that has been announced by the government. 1.7 lakh crore relief package has been announced, which is mainly talking about the immediate relief, that is supporting the survival during the lockdown. The government also has come up with a health package to support the control efforts of COVID-19. However, once the lockdown is lifted, what will be the situation? There will be an inertia. Okay, industries are interdependent and though the lockdown is lifted, there may be 2 to 3 months time that may be needed for them to recover. Some of the industries are facing a risk of shutdown also. In view of this, there have been articles coming up in the newspaper suggesting that economic package is needed at this juncture. In view of this question has been asked. Let us look at some of the value addition points that can be written in this answer. See, this question has mentioned that Indian economy is in a difficult situation. Okay, because we have to life it up. That means that Indian economy is in a difficult situation. So you can mention some fact or figure, any report which says that there has been so much impact on the Indian economy or there will be so much impact on the Indian economy because of lockdown. Okay, any fact or figure will be a value addition in this question. Also, what are the sectors that are majorly affected by the lockdown? For example, agriculture being an essential sector is not much affected. However, the allied sectors are affected. Also, mining is affected. Various industries and construction industry are affected. Okay, service sector is also largely affected. So that knowledge about what sectors will be affected will be a value addition. Okay. Also, a knowledge of the package that has already been announced by the government will be useful in acting as a template for what are the measures that you are going to suggest for giving a boost to the economy. Okay, so these are the value addition points that I can think of for writing this answer. Now let us look at what is to be avoided while writing this answer. See, this question is asking about Indian economy. Okay, so stick only to the economic implications of COVID-19 as well as suggesting measures only about boosting economy. Yes, you can give a background of why Indian economy has been slowing down, but that should not form the core of our answer. The core of our answer should be formed by what are the reasons for slowing economy in view of COVID-19 pandemic and what are your measures for the same. So try to avoid other dimensions of COVID-19 pandemic, that is the health dimensions, the number of lives lost, etc. Okay. Now let us look at how to write the answer in the introduction, body and conclusion format. Introduction, in this question, you can start about already slowing down of growth. Okay, you can start with the story of how Indian economy has been going through a slowdown. Okay, then how COVID-19 aided in further slowing down of the Indian economy. That could be one method of introduction. Otherwise, you can just describe what is COVID-19 pandemic, why lockdown was necessitated, and then how it has affected the Indian economy. So, introduction can be written in two forms. Then coming to the body part according to me could be written in two subheadings. First thing, mentioning about the impact on economy. Okay, what is the lockdown's impact on Indian economy could be written in the first part, and second part we can write about the measures. What are the measures that government has already taken? What are the further measures that are needed to be taken? So that will be comprising our body part. Coming to the conclusion, we can say that lives are important and hence lockdown measures are taken. Okay, however, livelihood is also important and we should avoid people dying from hunger, something like that, which is trying to incorporate the economic aspects of lockdown. Okay, and it has to be optimistic. Let us now look at a sample answer. The person writes, COVID-19 is a viral infectious disease having asymptomatic transmission and hence demanded nationwide lockdown to prevent rapid spread and high mortality associated with it. So here he is trying to tell the importance of lockdown in the background of COVID-19. Okay, the current lockdown is pushing the already precarious state of Indian economy into crisis. So in this point he is trying to tell that Indian economy has already been in a precarious state and it may be pushed into crisis like situation, okay, because of the lockdown. So I think this is a decent introduction, a short introduction telling about COVID-19, why lockdown was necessitated and how lockdown can push the Indian economy into a crisis like situation. Let us see what he writes further. He writes, impacts of lockdown on Indian economy. Okay, here he has drawn a small figure which is trying to address the three sectors: primary sector, secondary sector and tertiary sector. Okay, in primary sector he is mainly talking about agriculture. Here he has written minimally affected due to essential nature, but allied sectors are affected. We have discussed this point. Mining is worst affected. Mining is also under primary sector and he is saying that it is worst affected. And in the secondary sector he is writing that industries and construction, they are worst affected barring pharmaceutical, medical devices, gas, etc. So he is trying to address the industries which are not affected. And in the tertiary sector, services, he is writing about hotels, restaurants, transport, real estate, worst affected. So how the different sectors of economy are getting affected, he is trying to depict in this diagram. The mistake he did is he did not mention primary, secondary and tertiary sector. He just told agriculture, industries and services sector. Okay, let us see what he writes further. He has written, owing to the job loss and cuts in payment, demand is bound to get affected. So there is job loss. Yes, we have read that there has been unemployment rise to the extent of 23%. Okay, and then cuts in payments. Yes, there have been cut in payments of all the government sector employees barring a few employees. Okay, so the demand is bound to get affected. If you carefully observe, he is trying to address here about the supply side effect and here about the demand side effect. Okay, I feel he should have labeled them that is the supply side effect and this is the demand side effect. That would have made the answer more clear. Let us see what he writes further. According to Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development estimate. What is this? OECD. According to OECD estimate, India is at risk of incurring loss of 20% of its GDP due to lockdowns. So this is a fact that he is trying to incorporate in his answer, that is the extent of loss that India is going to face because of the lockdown. Okay, that is a fact which I also told you to use as a value addition for your answer. Let us see what he writes further. He writes, measures for preventing economic crisis. Just as we discussed, he has told the impact. He has described the supply side impacts as well as demand side impacts of the lockdown. Now he is trying to write the measures for preventing economic crisis. He writes, central government has announced a 1.7 lakh crore COVID-19 economic relief package. We have discussed this already. It is providing for immediate relief in cash or kind. Yes, kind in the form of ration and cash in the form of 500 rupees per one woman Jan Dhan account beneficiary. Okay. Then also it has called for postponement of revenue or tax collections, and it has scaled up public distribution. So for all this, a package has already been announced. But this mainly addresses the concern of workers, not of enterprises. Okay. So he tries to say that the concern of workers has been addressed but not of enterprises. Okay. Hence, there is a need for huge stimulus package to revive the industry, especially small and medium enterprises, through concessions and investments. So here he is trying to suggest his own measures so that the industries will not be decimated, will not be suffering. He is asking the government to provide concessions and investment. Okay. He has written, extraordinary times need extraordinary action. If you carefully observe, he hasn't written a formal conclusion. He has written measures only in the conclusion. Okay. See, you always have a dearth of space and time while writing your answer. So you have to divide your time carefully, giving specific time for your introduction as well as conclusion, both time as well as space, so that you will be writing only what is required in the body part, and introduction and conclusion will not miss out. However, he has written a very good quote, extraordinary times need extraordinary action. This is one of the good ways to conclude, but I felt he should have written a small conclusion. Overall, the answer is a simple answer. He has written a simple introduction, not written good conclusion. Okay. However, he wrote one good quote and he has written one fact in his answer. He has tried to use one diagram also depicting the three sectors of economy, and he has approached the answer in a systematic manner, and he is being relevant to the question asked. Okay. Let us come to the end of our discussion. We have discussed about what is the context in which the question has been asked, what are the value addition points that are required to answer this question, what is to be avoided, also how to approach this question, and then we have discussed a sample answer. Before concluding the discussion, I urge you all to have a look at what are the three sectors of economy, their contribution to the GDP, their contribution to the workforce of the Indian economy. Okay, just have a look at it. Prepare a short note on the sectors of Indian economy. Also try to look at what are the monetary policy tools and fiscal policy tools so as to address the slowdown of the economy. Okay, make a short note of all these things. Let us all meet again on Monday. Thank you.